look, I think bankruptcy, which people were talking about, is basically off the table. It doesn't really help him much, and it's a political disaster. And I think letting Tish James just go and choose among his prized possessions, which she'll go after first, is a very, very final choice. So that leaves him coming up with it in some way or other. The Truth Social is an interesting possibility, but it's not enough. He has to somehow be able to convert that into a guarantee from someone who credits, notwithstanding what your Yale professor said, that this is good enough for me. In general, a guardian angel might be in the offing, but I don't think, or they would do it for nothing. We would have to, as a country, worry about whether a local or even foreign billionaire steps in to save him, what that would mean for him were he to become president. Otherwise, there are a few possibilities that he could still try to come up with, including selling some of his less valuable properties. I just think at the end of the day, he'll do anything rather than let Tish James put a metaphorical padlock on 40 Wall Street.
To that point, though, Trump on social media made this claim that he's got $500 million in liquidity, that he just has it there. His attorneys turned around and said, yeah, not so much. If you're Letitia James and you see that, could that potentially hurt him in court that he's making these claims?
It's certainly an admission and one more indication of why Trump is the worst client of all time. How'd you like to be the lawyer saying it's practically impossible when your client says otherwise? Look, at the end of the day, if he has it, and by the way, if he does have it, I think by any calculation, it's a little opaque with his finances, but it would be crippling, not just for the campaign, but for his business. That means accounts receivable. That means running the business. But yeah, that could come into play. At the end of the day, if he says, I just don't have it, Tish James then has at his properties. That's what I think will not happen. But yeah, it's an awkward, one of many awkward positions that he's put his lawyers in. Any way you look at this, Boris, he is in a world of hurt. The question is, what's the least hurt that he could emerge from this situation with?
Harry, you brought up the possibility of an angel, I believe was the word that you used. There had guardian angel. There had been some speculation about whether there could be perhaps a foreign guardian angel, and concerns, as you rightly pointed out, about national security, especially if he were to be reelected. His attorney, Chris Kise, also pushing back on that notion, saying it is categorically absolutely not true, that there would be no Russian or Saudi money or any foreign money under consideration. Is that something that the courts would monitor?
The short answer is they wouldn't know about it. And in general, there's a lot of monitorship going on, but that doesn't mean it would be illegal. It would be a huge concern for us. The guardian angel might be a guardian devil as far as we're concerned, because they wouldn't do it just to be nice to him. But I don't see anything illegal about his doing it unless it violates their sanctions in place with different Russian folks, etc. But look, the question, he is at a choice between some very, very bad alternatives. If it comes to that, I think he would do it before letting Tish James, go to 40 Wall Street or Trump Tower and the like. But man, is it fraught for us as the American people if the putative, presidential nominee is so in debt to a foreign power.
Harry, I want to zero in on what Trump's lawyer, Chris Kise, tried to clarify regarding Trump's cash claim. He said, quote, what he's talking about is the money reported on his campaign disclosure forms that he's built up through years of owning and managing successful businesses. What stands out to me that is left out of that statement, Harry, is the fact that this whole case was about Trump making money by inflating the value of his properties. So some of that successful business managing and owning was fraud.
Yeah, so 2 points here. First, because it's fraud, there's less than he says. I mean, you just can't credit this amount. Even the properties are completely encumbered, and you just don't know what he really has. That's for starters. But second, if what Kai says is accurate, it means that if this is his least unattractive choice and he comes up with it himself, I think he is. It's like a company that all of a sudden has no chairs, furniture, accounts receivable, or anything. That is really the end of the day, I think, for the Trump organization in New York. It's an ugly, ugly situation for him, even if it is halfway accurate.
Harry Litman, very much appreciate your perspective. Thanks.